too.
Say less, say less.
Yeah, and I
That
could tell you've been going
FMV.
harder on everything though, like your streams, everything. You
I'm
ain't
trying, bro. This time,
you ain't
man.
you ain't quit yet, did you?
No, I'm thinking about it. I don't want to do the place I'm at. I don't want to do them bold just because that's the good person in me. But one of these days, I'm gonna get a Twitch back, and I'm gonna be like, you know what? I'm just not come back.
Hey, let me tell you something. These jobs will do you bold with no hesitation. They'll do
Facts.
you bold with no hesitation. All right, so let me ask you. Oh man, I just realized my sound was on. Hopefully, it didn't get into the mic. Anyway, all right, so fellas, the would you rather or which is easier? I guess we'll go with which is easier to blow $50 million or to be modest with $50 million. Which one is easier?
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say it's easier to be modest with it. And the reason is I understand like depending on like where you're from, it can be very easy to blow it for a lot of people. But I just think that where I come from and the tax bracket that I've been in with most of my life, I don't think that my brain is thinking on a level that I would even understand how to blow 50 million.
Right,
Like I would take
right.
care of all of my debt. I would get myself a nice home. It honestly wouldn't even be a home. It'd probably be like a condo type situation. Take care of some of the people I love, which wouldn't require that much. And after I've gone through all of that, got the cars I want and all of that, I would probably barely be digging into a couple of million, maybe. And at that point, when you got that much money, you can get into circles financially to where you can find out how to double, triple that money. However, fairly easily than it would with somebody that's in poverty trying to double or triple their money. So that's
Oh,
why I think it's
absolutely.
easier to be modest with it because I'm not a person that's about to go out here and buy, oh, I need $1 million car, I need this, or I need to get me a 15-bedroom mansion. I'm gonna just have me a nice situation, take care of all of my debt, and I still would have a lot of money left over.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. That's facts. Chris, which is easier?
Fellas. I think it's easier to blow it, man. I honestly think it's easier to blow it. I honestly think if you think about all the things you want on a regular basis in this world of social media and just the times we live in, it's so easy to spend 50 million nowadays. Like, think about it. I could be like, I'm bored one day. Let me go buy this nearest mall so I can be a mall owner. Or you can go buy everybody you cool with, everybody you know a house without even thinking about it. Now, granted, you don't. Are we thinking of it as broke people right now compared to 50 million? But
Right.
we thinking of if I got that type of bread, I could really change a lot of lives and make a lot of people happy at the same time. So for me, it's easier to blow it because it's endless possibilities you can do. Like I could wake up and just do whatever. Now, granted, it'd be hard to blow it because you can do stuff to make money back for you. Because, like, let's say I spend all the 50 million on equity, then yeah, I'll get the money right back. But I still blew through 50 million pretty quickly.
All right. So for me, it depends on what your definition of modest is, but like, yeah, nah, like I wouldn't come close to blowing all that money. Like again, we've talked about this before. I'm a very plain guy. Like my idea of a dream car is a Chevy Silverado that's like blacked out. Like that's it. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, I got a matte black wrap on the Silverado. Ooh,
When I
like you know what I
but
mean?
when I want my money where I want it, it's only one stupid purchase that I want to make, and I honestly wouldn't spend money on anything else that's considered dumb or frivolous. I just want a iced out Artie Ziff chain, and then I'm done.
That's honestly and truly, one chain out of 50 million, that
That'll run
probably
you
ain't
like
even going.
20K,
That probably ain't even going. I mean, if it's real diamonds, it's gonna run you for more than 20K. If it's real,
but out of
you
50 million, I'm good.
yeah.
Well,
That's
let
facts.
me
That's
say this.
facts.
Let me say this. This might be off topic, but everybody that think it's like like, and I'm not talking about y'all too, but everybody that think it's so easy to buy like a $20,000, $30,000 chain, right? A lot of people, because it's a lot of people doing a lot of things they shouldn't be doing. That's why they buying these chains. If you talk to any financial advisor and you told them you want to buy a $20,000 chain, they're going to tell you need to make at least $2 million to make that a justifiable purchase. Like,
And
chain, that is the
Yeah.
worst way to spend money. The worst way.
And that's the thing. If you say, all right, I got 50, right? And we say, well, this is like, we gonna stretch this out and we gotta live over this or live on this for the rest of our life. Like you could still make like what? 10 M's in frivolous purchases and still have, or even if you did half, all frivolous purchases, all of it just like, I want to have fun. You would still have $25 million to live out the rest of your life with. Like,
Yeah, you could live modest, but for me, it's a lot of places I want to travel. It's a lot of stuff I want to buy. It's a lot of houses I want to buy. I want to take care of my people, my parents. Pay off a lot of my friends' college debt that they were struggling with. It's a lot that I would do right off bat, and all the stuff I just named, I could probably do within $5 million. But
Right.
I mean, I got 50. Why am I? To me, it's just I don't know.
again, I would get the blacked out Silverado. I would get probably like one sports car, only because sports cars are easier to park than like a Chevy Silverado 2500. And then you go ahead and get a house. I wouldn't even need, like, I would have one house and a couple other condos and all that, and condos here and there to travel every now and then, and that would probably pretty much be it. That's it for me. But anyway, we got a great show for y'all today. We got a lot of things going on. We got some folks being reunited, some folks being torn apart, and some legacies to discuss. So does that sound like a good show to y'all?
Sound good to me.
Great.
All righty. Well, let's get into it. What's up, y'all? Have a seat. It's your favorite hour of the week with the facts over at Axe Crew. We got the master, the mixer master, Josh Guyton in the building.
That is I.
We got the money man, the man playing, Chris Allen in the building.
Right here.
And then you got the little old MC, that is me, Ken Gibbs. Now, wait a minute. It's crazy to think about that. Like, we call Chris the money man, the man, the plan every day. And he was like, yeah, you can blow 50 mil easy. Like, that's. And me and you was like, yeah, bro. That's how I do it. But anyway, moving on. The first conversation we got to have, because it's the conversation around this has been growing, and we know off-season storylines, especially right after championships, grow very huge very quickly. So I'm going to ask y'all this. Is Steph in your top 10?
Yeah.
Well, tell it to me. Let me know.
Wow, P
Let me know who
exclamation
that top
point.
10 is.
After this last ring, I got Steph at number 8. My top 10 is this 10 in this order. Jordan, Kobe, Bron, Magic, Kareem, Duncan, Shaq, Steph, Bird, Russell. Right on the bubble, right on the outside. No, I'm sorry. I got Hakeem at 9 and Russell at 10. Then right on the outside, I got Bird, KD, and Wilt.
You got KD kind of high there, big dog.
KD at number 12.
You got KD kind of high there.
Because when I think of like your position on these lists, I take two categories into effect. Your ability to play basketball paired with your accomplishments. And when it comes to everybody on this list, KD's accomplishments are here, but you can make the argument that in the vacuum, he's the most skilled basketball player on this list.
Oh, stop it. Not
You
even
can
close.
make that argument.
Not even close.
That argument.
Kevin Durant is unguardable.
7 foot, and he do everything everybody on this list can do. Literally,
A skill. He can do everything.
I think
I'm
number
sorry.
12 is not
Hold
crazy.
on.
I don't think number 12 for KD is crazy.
Hold on. Run down your top 10 again for me.
Mike,
Okay.
Cole, Bron, Magic,
Okay.
Kareem.
So let me stop you right there. You said he's got the skill to do everything everybody on this list can do. Now I stopped you after Magic and Bron, so you know the question that's coming up.
I
You
didn't say
think that
he
he
could-
has the ability to pass like Magic and Bron?
I did not say he could
No,
do I did not say he could do everything. I said that you can make the argument that in the vacuum, he could be the most skilled basketball player on this list. You can make that argument.
But
he
here's
can't
the thing,
pass
what-
like them, but he's a good passer.
But you have to omit certain skills to argue that KD is the most skilled basketball player ever. Like you de facto have to. You can't be talking about At his size, how many all defensive teams has this man made? At
one?
at 7 feet tall, guarding small forwards, that man has made. Come on, dog.
He's made
Come
one,
on.
right? If I'm not
Come
mistaken,
on,
I think
man.
one.
Man, knock it off. Knock it
He's
off.
not a bad defender. You wouldn't call
I'm not
Kyrie a
saying
bad
I'm not saying he's a bad
Right,
defender, but I'm saying if you're talking skill, like yes, Bron's not a bad 3-point shooter compared to Steffi is. He's terrible. You compare KD to a lot of the guys you just named, 1 through 4. The only one that he's not a bad defender compared to is Magic, and that's only because you gotta include Magic when he was past his prime and he was a turnstile. Originally, he was not that bad defensively. It just got rough toward the end. But Bron, Kobe, Jordan, he is not in there defensively as a passer.
Which is why I got him at 12.
Okay,
12,
all right,
12
all right.
for KD is not crazy.
That's a little crazy to me. That's a little
12 for KD is not crazy.
I mean, it's crazy, but it's not crazy because somebody was trying to tell me Chris Paul in the top 15 one time, and I was like,
I'm gonna tell you. I'll give you this. Had this playoffs gone differently, and he actually did what we thought he was gonna do when they were up against what was it, the Mavs? The Mavs put him out, right?
yeah, in record fashion.
So if he did what he was supposed to do against the Mavs, I'm not gonna lie to you. I would have if the Suns win this chip, I'm okay with Chris Paul being in the top 15.
If they won this year, but
Yeah, if they won
the
this year,
second round,
there would have been no doubt about it. There would have been no doubt about it for me. But the way that he just disappeared off the face of the earth, ooh. Chris, who's in your top 10, man? Talk to me.
People of the court. So, look, before I say my list, though, we can all agree on one thing. So the first 3 or 4 guys, it's all a preference. Like, it's all a preference. Because all of those are on league. The first 4 on the list is league of their own. They're all a preference.
Honestly, I'll say top 5. I'll say the top 5 is like...
top 5.
I think the top 5 should all be a combination of 5 people.
Yeah. It's only 5 people. It can't be nothing other than these 5 people.
I mean,
So
I disagree a little bit, but go ahead, Chris. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So I'm gonna go LeBron. LeBron is my GOAT. Then I go Mike. Then I go Magic. Then I go Kareem. Then I go Kobe. Only reason why Kobe is 5 is because I would have loved to see him play longer without Shaq. Like if those 3 years without Shaq hadn't have been with Shaq, I want to see what Kobe really was. You know what I mean? And I saw that in 2009, 2010. But that team also had Powell, which not Shaq, but that's the only reason why Kobe 5. No disrespect.
If you take into account championships, those two with Powell, Kobe had the least talented team than anybody else in that top 5 and won championships. Bro won the ring with D Fish and Trevor Ariza in the starting five.
I mean, yeah. If you that Kareem Bucks team, it was nice, but
Wait, Oscar Robertson was on that team.
Sidney
I know,
Moncrief.
but
It
it was nice, but I mean that's back when it was the end of the era where the Plumbers stopped playing. And
They had
it was
3
like
All-Stars in a league that
3 Hall of Famers. 3 Hall of Famers.
maybe
for real.
had one.
Right, but that was you got to remember that was also when the Plumbers stopped. They stopped letting people that don't really hoop for real play too. You got to remember that too.
I mean, it was right when segregation was like kind of
Right.
officially
That's what I'm
ending
saying, like-
in the NBA. So I
That's
get
what
where
I'm
you're
saying,
going. I get where you're going.
Like, because if you put that team in the 80s or 90s, it don't look that good anymore.
I don't know, man. I don't know if you put.
I don't know, a 22-year-old Kareem in the 90s.
With Oscar and Sidney, I don't know, man. I don't know. That squad
that's a
would
modern
do
day
some damage.
team now, though. That's a modern
That's
day
what
team now.
That's what I'm saying. That would do
I'm
some
saying,
damage.
right? That's
That
what
would
I'm
do some
saying.
damage.
So that's the only reason why I would say. But okay, after Kobe, I got Shaq. Now I got Shaq under Kobe for a couple reasons, but we'll get into that. Hakeem, because bro, Hakeem he's the most underrated top 10 player ever, I think. Hakeem is the most underrated top 10 player ever. Like nobody ever has Hakeem in a top 10. But that Rockets team now that team was good, but it wasn't nowhere near.
Who was the second best option? Sam Cassell?
Exactly.
What was
it's
it?
King
Mad
of
Max?
What was they starting fives? Sam Cassell was at the one, right?
Nobody knows.
No, wait. It was. What was it? Sam Cassell. It was
Kenny Smith was at the two.
It was Kenny Smith, Vernon Maxwell.
And what? Ori was at the four.
Maxwell, he came up. No, Vernon Maxwell.
Vernon Maxwell wasn't on that team.
No, Vernon Maxwell was on the team before they won the ship.
Oh. Who was the other starters? That's crazy.
But we don't know. That's what I'm saying. You did have Ralph Sampson.
Now, if Ralph Sampson stayed healthy,
yeah.
If Ralph Sampson stayed healthy, we'd probably be having a different conversation. But yeah, he got hurt early.
But think about it. Hakeem won that title back to back too with that team.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I got Wilt because, Wilt is Wilt. He literally has his own. Like, you talk about the regular record book, then you got to talk about the Wilt Chamberlain record book. Like,
that's facts.
Two different things.
That's facts.
Then I'm gonna go Tim Duncan because he was the one player that ever got drafted and made a franchise perform as well as he did. Like, even Brian and Mike, like, it took them time. Tim Duncan came into the league and changed that franchise for the better from the time he started to the time he finished. Then I got Curry. I just threw Curry in there. Now, originally I had Bird, because Bird was him-tastic, him all that back in the day. But I threw Curry in there at 10 recently because if you think about it, the same thing that go for Wilt, Curry gonna have for 3-pointers. Like, nobody gonna snip. Like, you gotta do a separate record for 3-pointers.
Yeah.
A separate record book for 3-pointers when it comes down to it. So, I threw Curry in there.
All right, so I'm gonna tell you this. That's a good top 10. Who would be your honorable mention guys? Who would be your first 2 or 3 that's right outside there?
I was gonna say Russell. I already said
Russell.
Bird.
Who?
Bill.
Russell. Come on, not Russell Westbrook. Get out of here. Kids, don't do that. Don't do that. So I was gonna do Bill Russell and Larry Bird as my honorable mentions, and then it was a toss up for that 13th. I really like him as a player, but he wasn't really. He's not really 13. Like, and the player I'm talking about is KG. I really liked KG growing up. Like, his work ethic was crazy. He stayed in the gym. He stayed producing until he got old. From the time he started, from the time he left. His biggest downfall is he stayed in Minnesota too long. Now, if he would have left Minnesota early in his career, I think he might have cracked the top 10 for me because he would have won a lot more.
That's facts, but I feel like as time goes on, KD moved down the list like rapidly as time goes on.
You said KG?
Yeah.
I'll say this. When I look at Kevin Garnett and all that he was, I think that he's a prime example of why when I see all these memes floating around about Steph stayed all loyalty and great basketball, it's like we only reward loyalty if it ends in rings.
Right. Nobody
is gonna be like, look at how Dame was loyal to the grind for 15 years. Nobody's looking at Bradley Beal. You didn't run from the grind, man.
KG number 2 is Wally Zerbiak.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. If KG would have even went to literally, I think at one point it was like 05. If he went to any other team, they would have been title contenders at 05 because the league was pretty well balanced in 05. He would have went to because he could have went to the Heat. That's right when the Heat before the Heat got
by then he was playing with the ghost of Sam Cassell. Like, bro was there, but that wasn't Sam for real. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. So KG would have been an honorable mention for me. So Bill Russell, Larry Bird, and KG.
So when I go to top 10, I think that there's a different top 10 for like career as opposed to player. Because to me, when I look at top 10 player, I say, all right, if you were to tell me you don't know who is on your team, you don't know what's going on, you've just been dropped somewhere and they say you're the GM, you have any one of these players to start your franchise with or to start your season with, who are you going with? Okay, that's how I came up with this, all right? So that's just where I'm at with this. My 1 is Bron, 2 is Jordan, 3 is Kareem, 4 Hakeem the Dream, 5 Kobe, 6 Magic, 7 Shaq, 8 Tim Duncan, 9 Wilt, 10 Bill Russell. Now my honorable mention guys, in no particular order. Actually, I'll give them in a particular order. Steph is at 11, Isaiah Thomas is at 12, and John Stockton's at 13. That's
I like that. I like that. I don't like Stockton.
Now listen. I know.
I like Zeke. I like Zeke because Zeke was
Stockton,
15 for me.
Again, Stockton. I think that Stockton had very inflated assist numbers, but the one number that they did get right, nobody was better at playing passing lanes or stripping ball handlers than Stockton. Like nobody was ever better at that. And again, we know him as the all-time assist leader, but he's also the all-time steals leader by a good amount as well. So
you putting just going off of my honorary mention list, you putting Stockton and Zeke above KD?
Yes, absolutely. But when I talk, hold on. But see, this is why I say it's about which player. If I gotta get a team a win, which player am I taking? KD has proven to me multiple times he's not a winner.
John Stockton is?
Yes, more than KD.
Bro, if you take Karl Malone off a John Stockton team,
dog.
If you take Karl Malone off a John Stockton team,
can I just say this real quick? Can I just say this? At the end of the day, we could say what would happen if you took this guy away from this guy and all that. But we live in the world of reality where we saw what happened when KD got away from Steph. We saw what happened. We synced it. We saw young KD away from Steph. We saw old KD away from Steph. We've seen prime KD away from Steph. Because let's be honest, his first year in Brooklyn, I would consider that part of his prime. And we saw what happened. We saw what happened when you asked him lead a team. He couldn't even get them back to the finals.
Man, I don't know. I feel like if you take Karl Malone away from Stockton, which we didn't see, we can't speak of hypotheticals, but without Karl Malone, John Stockton is... I'm trying to think of a guard that's like, I wouldn't even say Steve Nash. Steve Nash would be better all the time than him if he ain't had Karl Malone.
Stop it. Steve Nash was a turnstile. Stop it.
Oh man.
That is why Steph is outside my top 10 as well. That's why, because to me, again, when people talk about most skilled players, everybody likes to talk about shot creation and ability to score at all three levels. Rebounding is a skill. Anticipation defensively is a skill. And you're going to tell me that these guys...
I think as a point guard in today's NBA, Steph is an above average rebounder. When he needs to go get rebounds, he get rebounds.
Sure. Yes, he's above average rebounder. I'm not saying Steph is bad. We're talking top 10 players all the time. This is not like, if you're not here, you're mid. If you're right outside the top 10, there have been, 3,000 players to ever play in the NBA, something like that? If you're in the top 10, congratulations, you're in the 1% of 1%. But what I'm saying is, when I look at Steph, the thing that keeps him out, all of these other guys, if they had a flaw in their game, it was like one particular thing. The only player on this list that had a thing that you knew they could not do to save their life was Shaq with free throws. That was it. Everybody else...
I mean, I honestly, I wouldn't even say that. Because if you look at it in terms of people, it was that big of a deal because Shaq was like the number one guy in the league, but he still shot 55%. Think about how many people we've seen since then that can't even hit that mark.
But that's my point though. Hack-a-Shaq was a strategy. That's the point in all right, your inability to do something was a hindrance to your team. The same way that from the day he's walked into the league, teams are like, we playing Golden State. You have got to run a play that's going to get Steph to be the primary defender. That is what you have got to do to have a shot against this team. That's what you got to do. Again, none of these other guys were that way to where you were like, I'm going to attack him. Who in the league, when LeBron was at his prime, was like, you want to win? Attack Bron. Who in the league, MJ, was like, yeah, you want to win? You give Jordan space, tell him to shoot, and he'll lose the game for you. You want to win? Tell Kareem or tell Hakeem, hey, we'll give you all you want in the post, but we're going to go at you defensively. Okay, those are two of the top 10 block guys of all time. So again, these guys are, when I look at KD, he does not belong here to me Because again, everywhere that I've seen you, yes, you being great as an individual is important. What do you do for the guys around you? Everybody talks about Kobe not passing the ball, but players seem to play better when they play with Kobe.
I mean, he's the number one assist guy all time among shooting guards. I don't know where that narrative came from. He just passed the ball to people that wasn't hooping.
So you get my point. You get also. I wouldn't pass the ball to Smush Parker either. No disrespect.
Have you heard what Kobe said?
What?
Somebody asked him like, "Yo, why don't you pass to your teammates? Like, why are you selfish?" He was like, "I'm not selfish. I go to practice with them. I train with them every day. If I show up at 6 a.m. and you show up at 9 a.m., you take a break, you shoot around for 2 hours, and I've been in there for 8 hours. Why when the game start, I'm gonna pass you the ball and I know I work harder than you."
Well,
it's kind of facts.
I mean, again,
that's kind of how KG was too. That's why I like KG, man. Like KG, same way. Like
again, a 7-footer that is not a really, really good defender. That yes, he can score at every level. He has the butt handle and all that. But at the end of the day, when you ask him, put the team on your back, make it happen. He's never come close to pissing a drop. He's never. We can all say all day and night, well, if his foot wasn't on the line for that one shot, we're looking at a different situation. Sure.
It was.
I think it was.
You could what if till tomorrow, but
exactly.
One guy that I think is like also underappreciated too because he didn't win. Charles Barkley, bro. We probably never see another 6'4" power forward that play like that again. Probably never see that again.
No, never. I don't think we ever will.
Like the closest they said was gonna be Zion, but I mean, you see how that's playing out.
I got Barkley top 5 power forwards all the time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like
he another guy that he won't crack the top 15 for me, but top 20 is hard to not put him in there. It's real.
Yeah. I feel like power forward is the easiest position to get into the top 5. I feel like that's the easiest.
I mean, I feel like everybody
Donkey,
top 5
Dirk,
should be the same.
KG, Barkley, Karl Malone.
I mean, it just got
in there.
It just got Karl Malone. Hey, listen, off the court excluded. Karl Malone kind of got to be in there. He kind of got to be in there. You know what I mean? Like, yes, he's a sicko. Yes.
But you can't put him in there.
Magic is a sicko.
That's like I'm like, hey, who your top 5 R&B? And you be like R. Kelly. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, if somebody asks, listen, R. Kelly is disgusting. We know he was singing about children, but if somebody asks who got the most hits or who could match with him in the verses, it's only like 2 or 3 people. That's the reality. It's gross. It's disgusting. Yes, Karl Malone is a disgusting human being. You can't argue who's the best running backs in the 70s and not say OJ. Like, but come on, bro. It's the reality. But again, I'm
gonna just let that cook.
Power forward just got hard to get into because of Giannis. Before Giannis, it was Barkley, Dirk, Duncan. It was Barkley, Dirk, Duncan, KG, and that's tough. Would you qualify Moses Malone as a power forward or a center? Yeah. Okay, so Moses Malone.
Yeah, Moses is slept on.
Moses would probably be number 5.
But you didn't even say Karl Malone. You ain't even say Karl Malone.
Oh, that's facts. And
you ain't say Chris Bosh.
Hey, Chris, get out of here, man.
Bosh top 10. I get Bosh top 10.
He's top 10, but he's not a top 5 power forward. He's not a top.
Exactly. Bosh is nice, and you can't put him in the top 5.
You're right.
If you put Bosh in your top 10, is Rasheed going in your top 10?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, knock it off.
Power forward is tough. Power
knock
forward
it off.
Is Powell going in your top 10?
Y'all didn't say Chris Webber. Y'all didn't say Chris Webber or Powell.
Chris Webber, bro, listen.
Chris Webber ain't going in my top 10.
Detroiters. All respect to the Detroit
I'm
ballers.
just saying.
All respect. Chris is not in that conversation.
He's a monster, but you can't even put him in top 10. Power forwards is deep.
Chris was wildly versatile. That's it. That man was not no killer.
What I'm saying is power forwards. Power forward is deeper than you think. All I'm saying.
But it's all right. So what position would be easier to get in a top 5 than power forward?
I would say, based off how the game is going, center. Based off how the game is going.
But you have to also account for where the game has. Bro, there are 5 in my top 10 alone.
Honestly,
you asked
guard
me
the
a
easiest
simple
position.
question. You asked me a simple question, Gibbs. You asked me a
Shoot
simple
guard
question.
because your top 3 is Mike, Kobe, D Wade.
Yeah.
Outside of
I-
that,
four.
somebody can easily come in, have a couple of fire seasons, and be number 4 or 5.
If Devin Booker run off 4 or 5 rings
Hey,
right
honestly,
Yeah.
will Harden be a top 5 shooting guard? again?
Yes, Harden's 4.
Really?
now, over Ivo?
I don't know if I put him over Iverson.
I don't
if put him
know.
over
I
Iverson.
always consider Iverson a point guard. Maybe it's just because his size and he was the primary ball handler. But
But
never
if
looked at
you
Iverson
look at
as
how
a
he
two-guard.
played, that was a 2 guard through and through.
Over Ivo is tough. Over Ivo is tough.
That,
And
yeah,
then you
because
put
Harden is
over
top 5.
You put Harden over Ray Allen?
Yes.
I'd have to agree.
Ray
I'm
Allen-
a hard guy.
Ray Allen was a dog. Ray Allen was a dog.
Because nigga,
But we ain't seen him be that good for as long of a
I mean,
stretch as Harden
People
has been
forget.
good.
People forget the supersonic Ray Allen. Though.
But I was just about to say, I think the thing that keeps Ray Allen relevant in this conversation is the thing that he did well for 20 years.
Right.
Like that shot never left him. Like you know,
he can
could go
still shoot to this day.
That's
You
what I'm
put
about to say.
Harden
You know,
over
he
Reggie,
go-
you put Harden on Reggie Miller.
I'm putting Harden over Reggie.
Yes. Yeah, Harden over Reggie.
Bro, I
Hey,
love
listen,
I know
I
Reggie
got him
Miller, one of my
for- I
favorite
got him
players.
for- I
Reggie
got
Miller,
him
one of my
for-
favorite
I'm just
players
asking
ever. But I do think Reggie was a little bit overrated, yo. Like if you
Hella
look at his
overrated.
career numbers, bro,
Hella overrated.
Bro, his career numbers, he averaged like 18, 3 and 3 or something crazy like
and
that,
he
bro.
played
You gotta remember, he
played team defense. He played good team defense.
Yeah.
I
I
got
mean, him and
Harden
Clyde
over Reggie,
Drexler
bro.
both overrated to me. Clyde Drexler's overrated to me too.
Clyde is overrated. Hold on.
Bro,
I think
people
Clyde
talk
is starting to
about
get
Clyde like
underrated.
Clyde was kind of hooping.
I think Clyde started to get
Clyde was
underrated.
hooping. Clyde was hooping, but somebody tried to tell me that if Clyde was on the Lakers instead of Kobe, they still do the same thing. Somebody tried to tell me that.
You was just talking to an old head. You had to be.
Oh, I don't know if they get 5 with him. I know that the ones with Shaq, yes, I know they get those. They might get 1 with Powell. I don't know if they get 5. I don't know if they get 5 with Clyde.
I don't think they get 1 with Powell, and I don't think they get a 3-peat with Shaq.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. Young Clyde?
They getting a 3-peat with Shaq.
Yes, with Shaq and Clyde. Boy, you up.
Man.
Get out of
I
here.
don't know, man.
Get
Kobe,
out of here.
That third one, Kobe did a lot. Kobe did a lot.
And you don't think Clyde could? Bro, Clyde took the Trailblazers to the finals with Bill Duckworth as his second, bro.
I get it. But Clyde ain't
All right.
Kobe, bro.
You know what? We got other things to talk about.
Hey,
We don't- we
low
don't
key,
let this-
I know we look at it differently because how skilled players are nowadays. But that Blazers team was low key kind of stacked.
It's Portland, though, bro. We don't talk about Portland. Next topic.
Hold on. No.
Didn't they have
State your
Sabonis
case.
over there?
They did. They had Sabonis. They had Scottie Pippen
Sabonis
at
was
one point.
hooping. No,
Dog.
Pippen wasn't there yet. I'm talking about early 90s.
Oh, you talking
Dog.
about? I thought you talking about all around Portland.
You're not serious right now,
I'm
bro.
for they kind of had. It's the reason they went to the finals.
Bro, Prime Sabo was good. Again, he is a lot like Chris Webber. Very, very versatile. Very, like, he was one of the first bigs that could do a little bit of everything. That man was not no like, oh man, we got Sabo tonight, bro. He gon' hit us with a 50 piece. He gon' hey man, ain't no motion in the paint when Sabo is there. Like, come on, dog. What are you doing? What are you doing? Look at you trying to look up Sabo numbers and it's
I'm
nothing
not looking at
impressive.
those numbers. I'm
You're not-
about to read this roster to you. You could be like, okay, I see why they was in the finals.
All right,
Those kinda
read me the
dogs.
roster. Read me the roster, because I'll tell you who got that dog in them and who I'm like about.
All right, so some people on here they don't matter, but you had Clyde,
Okay, he got that dog.
you
in him.
had Duckworth,
He had that dog in him. Whether we want to
had
admit it or not,
Mario
Duckworth got
Ellie.
that- Ellie was good. I don't know if he had that dog.
you
in
had
him.
Jerome Kersey,
All right, Kersey.
Jerome
was
Kersey.
pretty good.
Yeah.
you had
He
Terry
was
Porter,
pretty good. Hey, Porter was underrated. Porter,
You
he
had-
was underrated. I
you
get
had
that. I
Clifford
get that.
Robinson.
I don't remember Clifford Robinson. I'm not gonna lie to you. That name does not ring a bell.
He was on the Pistons team.
That name does not
Bro,
ring a bell.
he was on the Pistons teams when we was going to the conference finals. Cliff Robinson was on that
He
squad.
was a 3-and-D. Yeah, he's a 3-and-D guy.
I don't remember him. I'm
You
not
had
gonna lie
Rod
to you.
Strickland,
I remember Rod Strickland.
and
Okay,
you had Buck
he-
Williams.
Don't remember Buck Williams either.
They kind of had a squad, bro.
I remember
No,
Strickland. I do not remember Williams.
Portland always been a middle of the pack team. In that era, they did beat the Lakers to go to the finals, so they was solid.
Again, I'm not saying that they're a terrible team. What I'm saying is Clyde had that dog in him.
He did.
When it was winning time, you could roll the ball out to Clyde and say, hey, go get it done. And he'll hit you. You can say what you want about the old heads had a problem dribbling with their left and all this and that. Well, make them go left then. How about that? Make them do those moves that can't nobody do in that era. And guess what? He was working them every time.
Yeah.
He was. So I think you'll get 5. I think you'll get 5 with Cloud on the case. But now we got to talk about some current guys because we talked about KD and we talked about what's going on. But it seems like things are blowing up in Brooklyn, and this is getting very interesting. And boy, do I recall somebody saying that their ceiling was a conference finals. If only somebody had warned us all that they were never going to make a finals with that big three.
You said that out of hate, though, bro. You said that out of hate, bro.
If I said it out of hate or I said it out the truth,
Hey,
was it right?
I was even closer.
Was it right? I said that they was
none
never.
of us picked them to beat the Celtics. None of us picked them to beat the Celtics.
Absolutely. So with what we got going on in Brooklyn, what do y'all think is what do y'all think is happening right now as far as is KD and Kyrie leaving? Is one of them leaving? Is everybody gone? What's going on in Brooklyn, man?
Josh, if I can I go first here?
Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
So the package that they asking for KD is not crazy if you want to be technical, okay? But the package you asking for KD, knowing that they gotta lose Kyrie too, makes it insane. Okay, They're asking for an all-star player plus a draft haul, which is 4 picks and 2 pick swaps. Okay, so yeah, I trade KD to somebody like Toronto who gonna be a middle of the pack team, and then you give me Scotty Barnes and you give me Gary Trent Jr. Okay, and give me 4 draft picks, and I live with that because Scotty Barnes is a 20-year-old, and I get another haul for Kyrie, and let them play with Ben Simmons. Let him rot in Brooklyn where he deserves to rot at. I'm sorry. Ben. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. But that's honestly not that bad. However, Brooklyn, you have Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and Ben Simmons, and you letting teams bully you into trades. You have the pieces that don't come on the market that often. They got the $1 million house in the hood. Everybody want that house. Why are y'all asking people, what can you give me? You need to start demanding, what can you get?
Facts.
Say, don't call my phone unless you got this type of package.
Yeah.
Period. Ain't no 3-team trade, brother, man. Do you see what the Timberwolves gave up for Rudy Gobert? And you telling me you playing cat and mouse with people with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving?
My brothers, we must stay focused.
We give Gibbs 2 new knees and he drop 100 pounds. He got more post moves than Rudy Gobert.
I don't disagree with you. I do not disagree with you. My post shimmy is something serious. You know what I mean? It's something serious.
Come on now. Brooklyn, I need y'all to do better. And y'all franchise is going to be forever snake bitten and is forever in the toilet. I don't think the New Jersey or the Brooklyn Nets have ever done anything memorable, ever.
I mean, Vince Carter used to jump real high. You know what I mean? Vince.
Yeah, he did that until he was 41. So
honestly, that they had the best group of beige dunkers you've ever seen in your life. You know what I mean? Between
Kenyon,
Vince, RJ, Kenyon, that was
Gary Kittle's got a couple posters too.
I think RJ the only one that got a ring on all them teams.
Ooh, that's sickening. Oh, Kenyon Martin never did get a ring, did he?
No.
Oh man.
Kenyon or Vince, and RJ only got it because he played with you know who.
Oh, and Kid got one. Kid got one
with
the Mavs. Yeah, Kid got one.
They whole certified was beige.
Yeah, it was. Yep.
Wow.
Hey, that's why I'm so confused.
Bro, Vince Carter was the darkest one on the team.
That's why I keep getting confused when everybody is like, oh, these NBA players mess with these white girls, they're breeding out. I'm like, did y'all not remember what the NBA looked like in the early 2000s? Y'all couldn't have remembered, boy, because it was
And before we let Guyton go, one more thing on them Nets. You thought Steve Nash, the nicest guy on television, was going to be able to control Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. And Ben Simmons.
Hey, let me tell you this. Guyton gonna have to finish this one out because I need to jump in this slander.
Yes.
All the New York teams.
I'm tagging you.
All the New York teams.
New York
come on down to the floor.
Bad.
Come on down. If you were Tim's, if gentrification not got your cribs costing $1 million per square foot, come on down to the floor. Because y'all stink right now. Y'all stink right now. The Nets, I don't understand what world you thought to yourself, oh man, we've got two really, really good offensive players. Let's get a third really, really good offensive player. What world did y'all think that was going to work in?
Man.
What world? Again, you told your shorty she can't clean, she needed to be more domesticated, and she went and got a BBL. What world did you think that was going to work in?
That actually
What world? It made it worse. It made it so much worse. And then, on the way out, like you said, Chris, there's a haul to be demanded for each one of those players, except Ben Simmons. I think you could demand a haul for both of them. But because you're selling, huh? I don't know if you get a Rudy Gobert style haul.
Let me get De'Aaron in 3 first. You got Ben Simmons, and he love playing in Sacramento because he closer to LA. Oh, he gonna play?
Listen.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. All I know is this. You could give away Kyrie and KD at a discount because honestly, unless they got no trade clauses, do they have no trade clauses?
No, they don't. I don't think so.
Roll them out. Hey, OKC, come give me some of them picks. Y'all got about 20 of them over there. Give me some of them. Y'all don't need all of them. Just give me the couple highest ones, and you tie these two. Y'all can pair these two with Chet and the other tall dude that's foreign, and y'all can make something work out. You know what I mean? Like, show me what you got. But that Brooklyn team is a hot mess. And again, Knicks, we own y'all behind Knicks. I was finna lose our clean rate, but we own y'all behind Knicks, Knicks. We coming for you too. Josh, take us home. What is your take on this Brooklyn situation?
Man, I'm going to do my take from the perspective of Brooklyn. I think KD and Kyrie are going to be gone before the season starts. But if I'm Brooklyn, y'all might call me crazy. I say you keep Ben Simmons. And if you trade KD and Kyrie for the right pieces and Ben Simmons actually wants to play basketball, Brooklyn looking like a better team this year, this upcoming season they did this past season.
Well, yeah, because they got actual players playing on the floor.
Yeah, you trade KD, get you a couple of young guys, get you a couple of you trade them to Orlando. You say, hey, let me go ahead and get Wagner back. Let me get Cole Anthony, Terrence Ross, and 3 firsts.
So let me ask you this, okay? Let's just say all 3 of these things happen, because there's already rumors about these first 2 things. Yep. There's a lot of talk about Kyrie wanting to go play with Bron in LA. There's a lot of talk about KD wanting to or potentially going back to Golden State. And let's just say that at that point the Nets decide to tank, but they got the draft capital and they just go ahead and tank or are not good for the next couple years. Which one of those situations is more embarrassing for which player? Ben Simmons being on the star of a team that's tanking, Kevin Durant having to go back to Golden State, or Kyrie having to play with Bron again? Which one is most embarrassing?
Well, the least embarrassing is Brooklyn.
Yeah.
The least embarrassing by far is Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I think if the Lakers win, Kyrie's got to be the most embarrassing. Because if KD go back to the Warriors, we all expect him to win. At the same time, it's only embarrassing for KD because he could have stayed there, but he let 12-year-olds running basketball accounts on Twitter get him in his feelings.
He let Bulls Got Next get them all riled up. He let Bulls Got Next run them out.
No. Let me tell you why Kyrie's isn't as bad. And I think KD, obviously Brooklyn least embarrassing. I think Kevin Durant going to Warriors the most embarrassing. Because how about you argue with people on Twitter, talk about you didn't need to go to Golden State to win the title. Then you didn't produce in Brooklyn.
And then they won the title now?
Then they won the title, and you telling people that why y'all bringing my name up for because they won the title. That don't have nothing to do with it.
Ooh, he gonna go to him the year after they win?
And then they lost the year you went to them the first time. They lost the year before, so it made sense you went by there and gave them enough to go over the knee to get past Bron and Kyrie. And then they win again. You said, "I'm sorry, guys, I'm coming back home because I figured I was not green on the other side." Kyrie situation. That's Kevin Durant's situation. Kyrie situation. Kyrie was very young when he left LeBron. Very young. He was 25 years old.
He was younger than
basically
that,
our
I
age.
think.
Basically 24, 25, basically our age. A little bit
He
younger
came into
than
the
us.
league at 19 and 2011, and he left 2016. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so he about 25, right? He also came on multiple podcasts saying, listen, I was young. I was on the high. I just hit a big shot in the finals. I wanted to be my number one guy. You know, and it's nothing wrong with that. A young guy, you want to go see how it is be a number one guy.
It's a lot wrong with that, but we gonna skip past that.
Right. But he learned quickly, and after that stint with the Celtics, he apologized and said, you know what? I called Bron and apologized, and I told him that his job is not as easy as I thought it was. To me, that's more of a credibility and more of a reason to go back and make things right and go play with LeBron versus Kevin Durant's situation completely.
Yeah.
If you look at both those pictures I just painted.
I'm gonna rank them like this. Brooklyn is the least embarrassing because, I mean, Ben Simmons already had his embarrassing moment. Like, he passed the ball instead of dunking on somebody that's 5'10" and a half. Like, there's no, you can't embarrass yourself more than that. Kyrie, Josh, I disagree. If they win, Kyrie being there is the least embarrassing because he could look at Bron and be like, hey, like, I kind of came here and got you number 5, bro. Like, you can't really say too much to me. Now, KD, on the other hand, boy, hey, there is never. You ever tried to circle back to a young lady after you dubbed her because you thought you could do better, and like the colder shorty or the shorty that you thought was better from the outside did you filthy, and you had to go back?
Yes.
Boy.
Yes.
Boy, that is. If you ever been on either side of that relationship, either the person that's getting come back to or you know how humbling that is. Like, you know that is the nastiest of work. That's the nastiest of work.
You listen to the Dog is Future song, like, listen.
Ooh, you see,
they text back. You gotta let it simmer for a little bit too, so you you don't
see-
want them to know you press.
You see Shorty do, man, out partying and all that and doing whatever in the club, and she hits you up like, hey, how are you? Oh, look whose number is on my phone.
Hey, look who said they gonna go find better.
That's crazy. That's crazy how to, again, there is nothing more embarrassing than KD. Because at least with Kyrie, you left, you apologized, you did it dignified, and you got back. KD, bro, I ain't got nothing to say to nobody. I love.
Okay,
I'm gonna run my own.
You know, y'all right from this perspective. It's because Kyrie and Bron, you could say they was on a break. They got together young and they matured separately.
Yeah.
KD and the Warriors is like Kendrick Lamar recry together.
Bro, this man came crawling back like, bro, please. He like, what was that movie? The one with the bald head dude that everybody said I looked like, the Tyler Perry one, where he like got injured.
Oh yeah.
Diary of a Bad Black Woman.
Diary of a Bad Black Woman.
He Charles in the tub right now. He Charles in the tub.
He Charles in the tub.
He Charles in the tub, bro. He blowing bubbles in the tub, saying, "Come help me, Steph. Come help me." So I'm sorry. It don't get no more embarrassing.
Y'all chose Wiggins over me.
Exactly. And guess what? They was right, my boy. They won with Wiggins.
And to make matters worse, right? His 2 options he picked are the number 1 seed in the East and the West.
Again, that he is Charles in the tub blowing bubbles right now. He is down horrendous. He is down. He bet not even think about using the City Boys meme. He bet not even think about it. Think about it. So with that being said, that's what we got going on there. But now we told you the New York slander was not going to stop. And we got one more thing to get into after this, and we're going to try to rush through this. But the Knicks, I'm going to start this thing off by saying this. They cleared out all that cap space to give Brunson 110, and they're allegedly about to lose some draft picks over potentially tampering for Jalen Brunson. Hey, listen, New York basketball, man, I'm gonna tell you this. Everybody talk a lot about how Detroit is going through some tough times in the sports world and all that. I'm sorry, the Jets, the Giants, the Knicks, the Nets. At least we only got 4 teams. The Islanders. Like, what are y'all? At least we only got 4 teams to embarrass us. Boy, every team in every league is making y'all look bad right now.
That gotta hurt because you getting that many L's a season, a year. Like that's like magnifying your L's. You be like, well, you know that Brooklyn didn't win, so let's go root for.
At least the Mets decent this year, right? The Mets straight this year, right? The
Mets straight.
They the number one seed. In the,
there you go. The Mets. That's all y'all got.
But the Mets is snake bitten. They the Yankees' little brother, and they snake bitten. The Yankees is good too this year.
That's congratulations. It's baseball season. New York, I guess y'all is happy for now. But
but it's a curse on them Yankees since DJ left off.
As soon as they put them bats down, it's going to be nothing but tears and Hennessy flowing through them bodegas. You understand me? That's going to be all there will be because
Shout out North for the bodegas.
The Knicks and the Nets are disgusting right now. Down horrendous right now. Have y'all ever seen anything as strange as paying $110 million and potentially losing draft picks over a player like Jalen Brunson? Have y'all ever seen anything like this?
No. What did Brunson average last year? 16-4?
Yeah, something like that. 16-4. Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, even every terrible contract we've ever seen in NBA history is justifiable in some way.
Well, I guess it's not that bad because they still have cap next year when all they 1 year guys off the books. So they could go get another.
What are they gonna go get next year?
Donovan Mitchell from this part of the world where I'm at. I'm over here in the New England area.
If they giving Jalen Brunson, that much money, if they need a bid, we better not hope John Collins' contract up.
Hey, hold on.
If they pay Jalen Brunson 110, John Collins get $200 million.
Bro, what? You can't. I can't understand this contract for the life of me. I can't understand getting in trouble. If you're gonna tamper for a player, tamper for somebody.
I could understand them giving him this contract if they shut up about it. But we just covered 2 weeks ago in a pod, they traded a potential number 1 big in the draft class to get cap space to go get Jalen Brunson.
And not only that, they said this is the missing piece when they didn't even make the play-in tournament.
They said that 16-4 gonna put us over the top. That 16-4 gonna put us over the top.
Now, if the Jazz decide to trade Donovan Mitchell, which I have a strong feeling that they might, because they got rid of Gobert and they got rid of Royce O'Neal. They got to swallow Mike Conley last year, his contract, but they in a rebuild mode. Clearly, I don't know if you trade D Mitch or you keep him. That's up to the stakeholders over there. But if they got a player like D Mitch, then I will understand this. You know, Brunson being a number 3 option behind Barrett and D Mitch. It's not bad to get paid $110 million, because if you look at what Cleveland paid Kevin Love, that's what he got around there. So
here's the part that confuses me about this the most. Okay, when you look at who was their starting point guard last year, the Knicks, would it be Burks? Would it be Fournier? Who was their starting point guard?
I want to say it was Burks.
Burks went off for 11 or 12 and 3 last year. Like, even if you say point for point, like, all right, this is how much you're getting better. 4 points and 1 assist better. Like, that's it. That's the difference. You gave up all that for the man. Knock it off. So you traded away all these picks and all these things.
They saw what he did against Utah and was like,
Utah can't defend nobody. Rudy Gobert was covering up that team. They say love covers a multitude of sins. Rudy Gobert covers a multitude of bad Jazz defense. And now that he gone, boy, they're going to be giving up 150 a game like it's the 80s.
And they gave up their best perimeter defender, Royce O'Neal. He was their best perimeter defender. That's the only reason why he started at a small power forward position.
That's terrible. So we're gonna end it on this. Would you or would you not have given Zion the Supermax? And Tubbs, I'm mad that you beat us to it. You just barely beat us to it.
Nope.
Would you or would you not have given Zion the Supermax? Talk to me.
Zion is not getting that Supermax from me. You essentially riddled the salary cap on your team for possible potential. This is a guy that we seen. We don't know his work ethic. We seen that he not in shape. This man is over 300 pounds. He's played less games throughout the first 3 years of his career that Greg Oden did in his first 3 years. And you gave this man a super max so he can possibly be good at basketball one day. We're not even sure if he's playing next season. He just set out an entire season. 22 years of age. Just set out an entire season. It's no rhyme or reason that you could even explain to me why you would give Zion a supermax. Even if you offered him a contract that was half of a supermax, what is he going to say? No.
Yeah, I don't really see it. I don't see it.
He say no. I think he still got one more year on his deal, right? Because it's 4 years as a rookie, right? You get 3 plus it's 3 plus 1.
Yeah, it's 3. It's either 2 or 3 plus 2 team options. So I think it's 2 plus 2 team options.
Right. So I mean, okay. I wouldn't have did it, but here's why I kind of understand why they did. Okay. He's shown in just the 85 games he played, 85 out of 82 times 3, that's
246.
250.
Yeah.
Okay.
240. Yeah, about 250.
85 out of 246. He's shown that he could be an all-star caliber player, right? So, do you spend the money now, or do you regret that he went to someone else that was willing to spend the money on him later? That being said, that is the only reason why I would be okay with them paying him right now. Because if he does turn into another all-star caliber player with the young team they got C.J. McCollum, Devontae Graham, they got what's his name, Jones, the rookie that was a second-round pick. He turned out to be
Herb Jones.
Herbert Jones. Yep, they got a good backup point guard behind
Jose Alvarado.
They got Jonas Valanciunas. They got Brandon Ingram. That team actually on paper probably gonna make the playoffs again.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And you add Zion to that, if he becomes that 27, 5, and 6 guy again, I guarantee you that the Pelicans is not in the play-in tournament now. Now, I'm not saying they title contenders, but in maybe 3-4 years, closer to the end of that deal, they might be. You re-sign Brandon Ingram. You keep C.J. McCollum as a vet leader. You might even upgrade Valanciunas as he gets older. You know what I mean? And the younger guys going to just keep getting better, and they on low-money deals. I understand it.
I would like to say this. Their arena is the Smoothie King Arena, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I am a person who purchases a lot of Smoothie King. As soon as I walk in there, I ask them for the regular, and they know which 2 smoothies to make me. They're only 20 ounces. Don't judge me. Now, with that being said, I am, as a stakeholder, finna withdraw our company name from this team because they are ruining our brand. What under God's green earth? You can't give Zion this type of and I understand the idea that like you gotta pay him because he's a young guy who's really good and all that good stuff. I get it. I understand it. When he's been on the court, he's been good. In the words of Bill Parcells, the best ability is availability. I would have told him, listen, you can get a new contract at the end of this contract year. Yeah. Show me what you can do. I promise you, if you play a good amount of games before All-Star break, if you show me you good by All-Star break, baby, whatever you want, the moon, the stars, the heavens, and the earth, I'll pull it all down and get it for you. But if you can't show me something by the All-Star break, nah, we ain't got nothing to talk about. You can go ahead and walk how you want to walk.
And that's how I kind of would have played it, but it's a deadline for super maxes. He wanted to be able to get the max. They didn't do it now.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was a deadline for super maxes. Okay.
I didn't either. I looked it up, yeah.
That makes a little bit more sense. But Gail, I'm warning you now. I'm warning you. One more bad contract, and Smoothie King and I will be taking our business elsewhere. Okay? So think about that next time. Anywho, I know y'all tired of it. You know what? Hold on. Before we get out of here, maybe Zion could get a little Smoothie King to like lean himself out a little bit. It's helped me out a lot.
They
You know
got
what
the
I mean?
fat
It's helped-
burners.
That's what I'm saying. It helped me out a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's very filling. They throw the little protein in it. Anyway, we know y'all tired of us talking about Zion waiting his bloated contract to match his waistline. But come on back next week and the week after that and the week after that. Peace and love, y'all.
27 days, 27 nights.